There is a lot of talk about your captaincy and the future captain of Australia. What do you feel about? How do you feel about it?
At the end of the day, Cameron White's still the captain. I just got to concentrate on coming out here and playing cricket. Obviously, the first game here at ANZ, I'm excited for ANZ and for our team personally as well. We're going well in the Test matches so far. It's 3-0. Hopefully, we can keep kicking the summer off with 4-0 in Adelaide, and come back over here and try and win the first 2020. Oh, definitely. Of course it is. One day it might happen, but at the moment Cameron White's the captain, and I'm still going to be abiding by his rules. No, not at all. Cameron's a world-class player. We've seen it many times with Cameron that he can come out of, and fire. Him and David Hussey have got that aura about them when they come out. Every team's like, what happens if these two get away from us? And with Cameron's, at the end of the day, I've only, captained a handful of games, and it's an exciting opportunity for me to captain the Thunder this year, even though it was one game. I got that opportunity there, and I got the opportunity of the Chairman's 11 as well, and I was just excited and overwhelmed that they're actually looking at me, possibility for the future, and it's a massive achievement for people to say that, but in the day I've just got to concentrate on my cricket. It's going well at the moment, and hopefully I can continue for the rest of the summer.
Well, we are here at the huge ANZ Stadium. How far can you hit your sixes in this stadium?
Not too often that you can hit it to the second tier. I've managed to hit the billboard of the second tier, but it's a massive hit out here. And as people say when you're at ANZ Stadium as well, how can you hit the roof? But I don't think I've got any chance of hitting it out of this stadium.
What about those dizzy spells you are going through?
Yeah, I think I'm over it. I had a little bit of a dizzy spell yesterday morning. I spoke to Alex Touris about that, and it's generally what happens. I was fine when I got hit. I didn't get, I didn't have a blackout or anything, but and then you just got to try and get up and keep playing. It's one thing that I know as a batsman. Any time you get hit, whether it was on the arm like I did again, but it just it makes you eager to stay out there and push on. And it's not so much showing your courage; it's so much saying if I go off, we lose the momentum. The next guy comes in, we could lose a wicket that night. So I had to stay out there and do my best and carry on for the next day. I knew that it was a massive thing for us to try and get a lead, and we got a lead of 200, which we thought was enough on that wicket if our bowlers bowl well, and it showed it. At the moment, it's a day-by-day thing. I've got to speak to Lex this afternoon about how I'm feeling. At the moment, I'm feeling quite fine. I'm having a field after this today with Paul Chapman, New South Wales strength and conditioning guy. And then after then, I'll speak to Alex and let him know how I'm feeling. I can't say I've been waking up and seeing Umesh hit me in the head with the ball, but no, it's just something that you don't really like doing, getting hit in the head. I got hit in the head by Steve McGoffin there, and that rattled me as well. So hopefully next time I can just keep my eye on the ball.
How has been your transformation from 2020, playing 2020 to the traditional form of the game, Test cricket?
Yeah, I reckon it will. Obviously, coming through 2020 cricket myself personally has given me the opportunity to play cricket. There's a lot of 2020s going on around the world at any different time. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for young kids coming through. IPL's fantastic. You've seen a player of Virat Kohli's class, Rohit Sharma, who's yet to play in this series. They're two quality players from India who they're trying to bring up through the ranks. Umesh Yadav, no one knew about Umesh when I first went over. He was on $30,000, and now look at him, he's playing Test match cricket for India. It's fantastic insight, and for our youngsters coming up as well, I think it's going to be enormous. They've got enormous futures ahead of them, and hopefully Cricket Australia can keep picking the youngsters from there.
This new star status must have kept your manager busy looking for lucrative sponsorships.
Yeah, I think Peter Lovett, my manager at the moment, has been a bit quiet. I don't think he really wants to talk about sponsorships or anything like that. It's just down to the business with me. Cricket, the next game, the next test is what I'm focused on. All the other stuff that comes off the field, we can wait to the end of the summer, and when I've got some free time. I'm enjoying these couple of days off. It's very rare that we get a couple of days off, but I'm excited at the moment.
What do you think of this new crop of players playing for Australia now?
I think with a few injuries we might, definitely. If the players that are on show at the moment are going very well, there's a few youngsters around the traps that are doing fantastic. with a couple of injuries, you've got James Pattinson, Patrick Cummins, you've got Shane Watson as well. So, there's a couple of players that are going to be getting some goes, and hopefully, when they come, they can step up to the challenge as well.
Playing at IPL, you faced some of these bowlers who are now currently playing for India here, and you saw them and you played them. Did it help when you batted at Perth?
Yeah, I think it did. But at the end of the day, it's Test cricket. So with the line and lengths that they've been bowling and how I've been getting dismissed, I've had to look at, how can I fix the problem. I said Zahir Khan troubled me in the last game. Well, he has been troubling, left-handers for many years. He bowls that line and length where the ball's swinging and moving off the seam. So, you look at these guys, it doesn't matter how many times you look at it, you still got to wait until the day when you're out there. So, I find the IPL fantastic in that site where you can get a look at the bowlers in one-day form in Test cricket as well. So, but as what we see is that 2020 cricket's different. So, if it's the same bowlers coming out, I know exactly what they're going to be doing.
How are you celebrating the series win against India?
Oh, massive! As Pup said the other day, Michael Clark said after the game, celebrate your win. At the end of the day, we're going to try and beat the second team in the world 4-0, and that's a massive thing for us because where we are at the moment, placed where our goal is to be number one again, come Ashes in 2013. So if we can keep working towards that, and our goals will be achieved.
What's the process?
Celebration after the century, a memorable one for you?
100%. As Mike Hussey said to me, whether it's 50, 100, 150, etc., or a catch, celebrate it like it could be your last one because, you're playing for Australia, you've got the baggy green on your head. And why else? Why other wouldn't you celebrate any achievement that you get? If you're Usain Bolt and you win the 100 final in a world record time, you're not just going to stand there. You're going to do whatever you can to celebrate. So, it's massive for me, and I'll keep continuing the ways I do celebrate milestones.
David.
How are the preparations for that big game against India, the 2020 game at the ANZ Stadium?
100%. The Western Sydney community is massive. We see that when we played for New South Wales, when we played for the Thunder this year as well. You're going to get massive crowds out here, and hopefully Australia v India is going to be a massive crowd. I was fortunate enough to be here when Kathy Freeman was running the 400 metre final, and I could just imagine if it was that big again. But hopefully we can see a lot more people out here, and if we can get 60,000-70,000, it'd be fantastic.
Fit all forms of game, 2020, one-dayers and Test cricket into this busy schedule.
I think after the IPL I get 3 weeks off. Generally I'll go away and take some time off with some mates and just do my stuff. And then I think after the one-day series in England we got a 3-week break as well, where I think most of the guys generally probably take their wives and girlfriends around Europe and stuff for a couple of weeks. So if I get that opportunity and if I get selected in that tour, then I'll probably do the same.
What do you think of the failure of the famous top order batting of Indians?
Oh well, I'm not in a position to say what they can do, but if we're in the same position, you just got to come out and keep backing yourself, play the way that you guys play. That's the main thing with sport. It's so fickle. In respects to, if I can talk about batting, I said that I might have doubted myself a bit before going to that last innings, but there might be a lot of people in their shed saying, how am I going to score runs as well? In my mind, there's probably only one player, that's Sachin Tendulkar, who looks like he's using a sight screen when he comes out the bat. But the other players, I'm sure, they're world-class players. You look at the amount of runs they got in the top 6 in their careers, it's just phenomenal. I'd love to have just 5,000 of them, and I'll be happy. But they're world-class players, and we're expecting them to come out and show some aggression in this next test. No, I wouldn't have thought so. They got a 2020 games coming up and one-day games, and they're going to look to come out and try and win that series as well. And we know they're going to keep fighting. They're a team who will keep fighting, and we have trouble sometimes going over to India and play Test cricket, and they might have troubles coming out here. So I think it's a bit of an even keel at the moment. So hopefully they can come out and show Australia what they're made of as well.
Your fielding and catching has been exceptional in this series. Do you attribute that to your training?
I pride myself in fielding probably more than I do batting, because you spend the majority of your time fielding. I love the fielding session we do with Steve Rickson, our fielding coach, is amazing because it's short bursts of energy. It's high tempo, it's high class and quality. We always say, you want to get in and get out what you want done. We spend 20 minutes to half an hour on it, and it's all basic stuff. And you take your catches, you get in, you get out, and I just love fielding, throwing myself around. Why wouldn't you? You still got I'm only 25 years of age. I still feel like a kid. I'm gonna, if it's muddy, I'd love it to be wet, like I'm playing football. You can just slide along the ground. So, I really enjoy fielding.
Have you?
With the slip cordon that we've got at the moment, mate, I don't think we haven't really dropped. I think we've probably dropped 1 or 2 catches. So, they're guys who hardly drop any catches, and I wouldn't like to slip in there and drop one.
You were playing in IPL for Delhi Daredevils. So you had people like Sehwag. How is the camaraderie going?
Camaraderie as well. After I scored my 100 on that day one, Viru came over to me and said, well batted, and the other thing he said to me was, where's my bats? Because every time I'm in India, I always try and steal one of his bats out of his bag and go have a hit with it, because he knows I'll probably break it, because Indian wood's a bit soft, softer than what our wood is out here, but no, it's going well. As people have said to me, what's it like playing against these Indian guys when you play at the IPL and you come to a series where it's Australia versus India, you're playing for your countries? I think the competition on the field is exactly what it is. We're all about playing for Australia, and they're all about playing for India. There's always going to be a bit of banter on the field, and then off the field you're going to be mates, and that's how it should be. On the field, you got to be warriors on the field, and saints off the field.
Nowadays, the press is carrying all sorts of statements from your mum and dad about your childhood and so on. What's next, David?
I've been squeaky clean in my upbringing with my parents. My mum's a lady who always looks out for me. When things are going tough, if she sees something in the paper that's not right, she'll always let me know about it. I can assure you that. My parents are fantastic. They've put so much time and effort into me. Growing up, always taking to all my games. I used to wake up as a kid on a Sunday morning and look out to make sure it's sunny, and if it was raining, I'd always ask Dad, can we still go to the park? Because I just love cricket, and they've both put endless time into what I've achieved at the moment. They're just so proud.
That was Dave Warner. If you remember the last interview I did with Dave Warner, he said nothing would please him better than to wear that baggy green and play Test cricket for Australia, and he has done it, and he has done it with distinction. And after the break, we are going to bring you all the glitz, glamour and fashion of Bollywood.